Hey guys, we're in the heart of the forest here. I'd like to do a little bit of a decode on the movie The Adjustment Bureau. So there's obviously some truth to these movies, some truth to the ideas presented. You may even say that the directors are in a sense either downloading information themselves or they're being fed information. They're maybe into various occult practices themselves, in which they kind of find out these deeper truths, really, right? And they present them in these movies. Now, spoiler alert for sure. I will be kind of going more in depth, retelling the movie potentially, right? So, the movie is very good. I do recommend watching the movie before watching this video. But I'm gonna tie it into how the things I've been talking about, really, in regards to the scripts, astrology, numerology, things like that, the whole Matrix idea, right? Now, in this movie, to give a general summary, the main actor, Matt Damon, he kind of meets this girl, right? But he's not necessarily supposed to meet her. Okay, they had a scripted timeline or scripted storyline in a previous section of time, right, in a previous history that had been altered, right, and their energies were still intertwined, so they were still kind of being drawn to one another, right, and they felt this energy upon meeting each other. But the thing is, these storylines that they each had for each other were very it was not coinciding with each other, but storylines that they each had separate of each other were very 3D based, right? He was supposed to be like this very famous politician, and she's supposed to be this very good dancer, right? She's very into dancing. So they end up meeting, right? And then all of a sudden, this triggers what they call a ripple, and it's these agents that really get alerted because there was an agent that was supposed to stop him from intersecting her, in a sense, or from them intersecting each other, their storylines intersecting, right? He was supposed to kind of divert them, and they were never supposed to really meet because he was supposed to continue on this path of being a politician, right? The storyline that he was given. Now, they met, obviously. The script got all messed up, and these agents are basically kind of the policemen, not necessarily policemen, but yeah, the policemen of storylines for what they call the chairman. And I'm assuming that they were referring to either the chairman as, source, God, the one, or potentially the chairman could have also been the demiurge, the one running the scripts, running the storylines, keeping people stuck in the matrix. So it was very hard to discern because, in a sense, the ending, which, to skip over a bunch of stuff, was that they do choose each other, but the chairman and one of the agents ends up helping Matt Damon, and the chairman really kind of gets inspired because against all odds, against all scripts that were present, Matt Damon still chose love, right? Still chose free will, because the agents themselves didn't know why they were protecting the storyline or the script or him from her. And one of them even ended up lying to him, saying that, oh, you being with her would cause her trouble and it would ruin her career, which was potentially true. Storylines can get affected, but the thing is, he chose kind of the free will aspect, and the chairman was so inspired that he allowed free will to progress, because it was the illusion of free will up until then, right? They had been controlling the outcome. Really, they gave them minimal choices, right? The illusion of free will. You get liberty off the ship. That's what liberty is. It's not true freedom. Liberty is a confined set of rules in which you're able to act freely, right? That's liberty. But at the end, you still come back to the cage, in a sense, right? To to the agreed upon uh, role or home, right? So the chairman was so inspired that the line at the end was, and the chairman was never seen throughout the movie, but the line at the end was, oh, in order to have free will, you have to truly kind of prove you want it, right? Because you both fought so hard, you both were eager enough to sacrifice all these storylines, or your whole life basically, to choose each other. And when I say you both, I mean the two main characters, Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. So how does this really tie in with our own script? I think it's an interesting idea, right? That could we potentially be so controlled that because of our low stage of consciousness, because of our low stage of evolution, there are some beings involving themselves, intervening with our lives, which are not really our lives, because who are we? What is this? It's just a storyline, right? Our life is a storyline. Our life is a story. And I think that idea does make sense, but again, what is the purpose? That's what we really have to come back to. What is the purpose of that story? Is that story really creating spiritual evolution? Not really, right? Because we come back and we don't remember that story. We don't remember any of the lessons from it. We don't remember anything that we could have gained, right? Any evolution, any progress. So in a sense, I've kind of heard this idea before, right? Because I don't know anything myself. These are just ideas that come to me based on, experiences or thoughts that I may have, which I then ponder. But could it be that, because, like I said, of our lower stage of evolution, we are managed, in a sense, handled, right? But I think that I really want to say that's false, because when you're such an infinite being, you don't come here to evolve, right? You already are evolved. You already are infinite. You already are healed. You come here and you get traumatized, right? I do honestly believe that this was some sort of beautiful game before, and we came to play. We came to experience the game, right? We came to enjoy it, enjoy all the senses, and where we had more senses, where we were actually activated and we were free to travel between worlds. We had the cheat codes. We weren't stuck, right? But I believe at some point the game was hijacked, and all of a sudden our scripts are managed. We can't truly be with the love of our life, because that would bring us into this incredibly loving state of being, right? Imagine how much easier things are. Imagine how much easier to be love when you're surrounded by love, right? That's where we come from, really. There's that parable, I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, of this child, or this younger soul, potentially, of light, desiring to know itself as light, so that it then dove into darkness, where it was very dark, and all it could see was its own light, right? That's very plausible as well. But again, we have no recollection. We just keep coming back over and over again. It's not like, okay, I went down there and I came back and I gained an experience. No, it's like I went down there, I keep going back again, without potentially my own involvement, right? Because we don't remember. So anyways, back to the Adjustment Bureau. So they kept kind of adjusting the script for Matt Damon to never really meet Emily Blunt. And this is more in the middle of the movie, because at that point they took him at the beginning. They captured him. They explained to him, listen, they told him the whole truth. You're not allowed to be with her. They didn't give him a reason. They said, just don't go near her and do not talk about us, or we will reset you. Again, the memory reset idea. where, you know, his whole personality would have been wiped out. He would have just been basically kind of like an NPC. No one would really recognize who he is, and he would have just been on autopilot throughout his life. But yeah, the storyline kept getting changed so that he wouldn't meet Emily Blunt, and you know, he tried, or he kind of let it go for a few years, but he did take the same bus every single day, and that was another, I guess, element of the little free will we can have, the small window of opportunity we can have to potentially shift our storyline when we do something so out of the ordinary, and we stick with that on a consistent basis. Is that potentially how we break the matrix, right? How we break the set storyline? And again, to know your storyline, you really have to study things like astrology, things like numerology. I mean, how can it be that people with such similar numbers, people with such similar signs, and I'm talking about Vedic because I found the most accuracy in Vedic, and even that is still missing a small bit of accuracy. But on the very foundational principle, the Vedic will show you your character in the story, right? Like imagine tapping into the code of the actual game, detailing all the strengths and qualities and, you know, weaknesses of the actual character, and saying, oh, this is how you're more likely to react, right? So first of all, changing the script would entail changing your character in a sense, not to another character, but transcending those set coded characteristics, right? Saying, oh, if we push this button, this is what's going to happen, right? Because that's very predictable, right? And that's how you're easily handled and managed, and that's how people are then sent into your life to manipulate you through various relationships, through various just encounters, right? So when you change or you transcend this character, and what is the character? It's the ego. The ego sees itself as separate, sees itself as an individual or someone with a predetermined set of characteristics, right? When you can see these things, and when you can see that they're also found in other people, maybe not the same ones, not the same characteristics, but you'll see that other people have similar characteristics, and then you have similar characteristics to, you know, another person, and you're all interrelated because that person would represent kind of like the opposite of you, the mirror, really reflecting the same ideas just from a different perspective, even though they don't have the same characteristics. For example, one person is patient and another person is impatient. You know, they reflect both sides of that duality, right? There is no patience, there is no impatience. Just don't wait, right? What are you waiting for? You only need patience or impatience if you're waiting for something, right? That's the thing about duality. Everything in this illusion is dual. How do you exit something that's dual? Well, you don't play it. You let it go, in a sense, right? So if you haven't checked the movie out, it's called, again, The Adjustment Bureau. Very interesting. There were some things I found were definitely not aligning with the whole idea, and they were kind of trying to push onto you to make you create for yourself and believe. So do watch out for that. But yeah, the scripts, right? What? Figure out your own script and transcend it in a sense, because who knows what could be keeping you from your higher script, right? And I believe, like I said, there is a higher will, a higher story that you can subscribe to that would benefit both you and the storyteller, aka source. Whereas when you're just another character in a story that doesn't benefit you, you're being used, right? You're being used for something else's purpose. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Comment what you may think below. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.